everyone, I'm Connor and welcome to my channel, The Closet. If it's your first time here on my channel, I like to talk about all things luxury. So if that is something you're interested in, I would love it if you could subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button. And if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Now, a few weeks ago on my Instagram account, The Closet by Connor, I did a poll asking my followers whether or not I should do for my next video a 6-month review on my Cartier Love Bracelet or a 12-month review on my Louis Vuitton Speedy 35 in the monogram. And surprisingly, people voted for the Louis Vuitton bag to be done first, which I thought would go the other way around. And then after that, I got a few more messages asking about like general wear and tear, if the monogram has faded or damaged or whatever over the year. So I'm going to answer all those questions in this video. So if you are unaware, last year, nearly to the day, I purchased my Louis Vuitton Speedy 35, Speedy B35 I should say, because it has the strap. And I did a video on it, which I will link up above and in the description box, which basically talks about why I chose to get that bag, what I wanted to use it for, blah, 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 all of that jazz. Moving on to present day, the full Earth has done its cycle, or the moon, or whatever the hell it is. I don't know. Another year has passed. This bag, I have no regrets. Just straight up, I have no regrets about purchasing it. The monogramming, which Louis Vuitton have now changed, I think it's called my LV Heritage. And I think when I actually bought the bag, on the receipt it says monogram, but then on, like, they gave me this little tag that said my LV Heritage. So maybe they were like changing the names over slowly or whatever. But Personalization with Louis Vuitton is now called my LV Heritage. And basically one of the most common questions that I get asked just by people is, well, number one, I didn't know that you could do that. And number two, do you regret it? Have you gotten over it? Blah, blah, blah. And the short answer is no, I have not gotten over it. So firstly, if you are unfamiliar with my Speedy bag, here it is. So this is the Louis Vuitton Speedy B in the 35 centimeter size, so Speedy 35 as it's commonly abbreviated as. And I got it in this gorgeous light blue with a contrasting ivory color. And then on the inside, I got this gorgeous blue, I think it's called Bleu de France, and then this blue is Bleu de Clair or Bleu Clair from memory. But yeah, I have no regrets about the colors. I have no regrets about the personalization. Honestly, I just love it. It makes me smile, it makes me happy, and it makes me gravitate more towards this bag because it is personalized. So if you are on the fence about it, I personally would say go for gold and do it, because I love this bag just as much as when I first purchased it. In terms of the strap, now when you get these bags from Louis Vuitton, they come with a vachetta strap. Now the vachetta strap is all vachetta, exactly like the handles and the other sides of the bag, but that was just a bit too OTT for me, and I ended up selling that strap as soon as I purchased the bag. Or as soon as I got the bag, I should say. Where is the replacement? Ugh. So I sold that straight away, and then I purchased basically the equivalent size, thickness, everything, alternative from Louis Vuitton, and it is a monogram canvas strap, and it just has only these two strap holders in vachetta on it. It has the shoulder pad thingy, so when it goes on your shoulder, it's comfort. And then it just has the normal Louis Vuitton clippity crab lobster things. I can't talk. Seriously, cannot talk. But basically, I can't remember if I mentioned this in the video, but I always intended to purchase this strap when I got this bag. I believe I sold the vachetta strap that the bag came with for about $280 or $290, and then when I purchased this at the time, it was $360, so it was nearly like for like. So I didn't have to fork out that much extra, but I definitely love having the carefree canvas strap, and it still doesn't take away from like the bag. It's not like I got some chunky thick strap or some different colored pattern scheme or whatever. It's very complementary to the bag, as you can see. Okay, secondly, wear and tear as the bag, or for the bag generally. Honestly, I cannot fault this bag for general wear and tear at all. there's, you know, from the use that I've had it for the whole year, there's no corner marks, there's no canvas cracking, scratching, anything like that. The only thing that I can point out as just wear and tear is the D-ring things that the strap attaches to has tarnishing on it. Don't know if that's coming up in the camera, but it's honestly so minute. And that is just what happens with metals. The zip is still perfect. I'm gonna do a bit of a zippity zip for you ASMR lovers. Listen. Woohoo! And the bag still smells like Louis Vuitton. You know the Louis Vuitton smell? Now, the vachetta. For those of you who do not know, Louis Vuitton vachetta bags come untreated, and they are basically a raw cowhide leather that comes in a really fresh, light cream color. I'm going to attach photos, or attach. It's not an email, Connor. I'm going to put in photos of what the bag looked like as soon as I got it and how fresh the vachetta was. And then I decided to treat my vachetta and waterproof it with the LuxGuard leather conditioner. And I have mentioned these products before in a Chanel cleaning video that I did recently. I'll also link that above. But I treated this and waterproofed it, so if I ever got water on it, or if I spilled something on it, or if I got caught in the rain, the water droplet staining would be minimal. And like I was mentioning before, if you're not familiar with this kind of leather, if you do not treat it and you spill water on it, it'll get permanent watermarks on it. Also, the leather naturally develops a patina, which is the leather darkening when it comes into contact with sunlight, oils in your hand, etc, etc. But because I treated mine, it is vachetted. It has patinaed evenly. As you can see, it's a very light honey color, and it's very consistent along all of the parts of vachetta on the bag. The handles also are really good. All the vachetta has patinaed perfect, and I'm really grateful. I was, however, expecting it to get a little bit darker, because I personally prefer it to be a few shades darker, more of a medium honey color. But obviously over time that will happen, but I just assumed in the first year or towards the end of the first year that would happen, but it has not. Also, I just want to point out that my bag was actually on a glazing recall with Louis Vuitton, and basically I did a video on this, which I'll also link in here, but the glazing on my Speedy actually was the incorrect type of glazing, and basically the glazing did not adhere to the edges of the leather, and it started to bubble and lift. And I had to take it to Louis Vuitton, and they repaired it under warranty for free. And they basically removed all of the glazing on the handles here, and they redid it. They did a fantastic job when they fixed it, and the customer service was really good, so I can't fault them with that. It was just one of those things that happened. So I was without the bag for maybe 4 or 5 weeks. I can't remember the exact time, but I do reference all of that in that video, which I will link. But that was the only kind of quality control issue I did have, but it was rectified, and ever since then the glazing is perfect. It's very neat, tidy, and it doesn't have that high gloss, shiny, honey texture that it originally had, which it wasn't supposed to have. Now, the most common question that I'm asked from like followers on my Instagram or just comments in my YouTube videos when I have mentioned this bag is, how does the personalization part wear, and does it chip, does it scratch, does it fade, or all of those kind of normal questions that you would have about something that is printed on like this. And I was quite surprised, because originally I thought that these bags were made, like the canvas was cut and then they printed on the personalization part, because it goes all the way around the bag. So I just assumed that when they would cut the canvas to size for this bag, they would print it on top. But the date code for my bag is from, I think it's from like July of 2020, but then I ordered this in September 2020, so the bag was already made, and then they retrospectively print on the personalization, which I was surprised by. And also, because the inner lining of the bag, which is, you know, in that bright bold blue. I've got an insert in at the moment, but this bright bold blue, I was assuming that they must make the canvas part and then the date code part as one, and then they must allocate these bags, I guess, to be personalized. So they're made, you know, in July, and then they're allocated to be personalized, and then when they are personalized by a customer, when they're ordered online or whatever, that's when they take it from that spot and then they line it with the color that's chosen and they print on it. I'm assuming that's how they do it, but I was talking to one of the artists in Louis Vuitton who paints on the trunks. If you've ever been into Louis Vuitton, you've probably seen an employee of Louis Vuitton who is sitting and actually painting art onto a trunk, which is most likely for a customer order. And I was chatting with her, and she told me that originally Louis Vuitton used to hand paint personalizations onto these pieces, but due to like the soft nature of the canvas, it would over time crack and it would wear because the canvas is always moving. So she said the painting is more suited for hard cased items like the trunks, which is why they do that. And then when the softer items, they print on it because it has a much more durable kind of nature, I guess. So in the year that I've had this is not faded, it is not chipped, it is not kind of aged differently to the canvas. It is very much as bright and bold as it was when I originally purchased it. And it is scented, it is neat, and it's perfect. So I'm incredibly happy with that. Admittedly, I wasn't that concerned about the personalization. I just assumed that it would wear well, and I'm glad that I had that assumption because it has. But a lot of people did ask me, I'm worried about it fading on the back or fading on the front or rubbing or whatever, and I've predominantly used this bag as crossbody, and it has been like on the strap on my hip, so you can imagine all the friction and rubbing from that. And it is just as good on the back where it would be in contact with me as it is on the front. In terms of the size of this bag, I'm glad I got the 35. I think the 30 for me would have been way too small, and I do get the best of both worlds with this bag because I think I've mentioned it in a video or a collaboration video I did with Dale, but because of the size of this bag, I have a insert that I got from Samorga, and basically when I want to use the bag at its full capacity, I take the insert out, and when I want to use it, you know, when I know I'm not going to fill it or I want a bit of shape to the bag, I'll put the insert in. So I think the insert probably takes up maybe 15 to 20% of the size of the internal space. So if I'm using this bag as an overnight bag, which I'm very surprised that it fit everything that I needed for an overnight trip, which is an added bonus. So if I put like pajamas, like underwear, a little toiletries bag, clothes for the next day, phone charger, all that jazz, it fits all of that. So it's perfect for like little overnight trips, which is a really, really, really great bonus for me. But if I'm taking it out for the day, when I need a bag that's got a little bit more extra room, I'll put the insert in because it is just a lot easier where you don't have your phone and everything jiggling around. But this bag for me as an everyday bag is great when you need to return something. So say you go to Zara or wherever and you get some clothes and then you try them on at home, they don't fit. This is a great bag to put the returns in, so you're not carrying like a shopping bag, walking into the shop and all of that jazz. So it's great for things like that. Also good if I'm like, want to bring a bigger toiletry bag or whatever. It's just a great size for that. But in saying that, I am 6 foot tall and it is a bigger bag. So if you were a smaller, kind of smaller framed or petite frame or whatever, it might be a bit big. And in saying that too, I don't carry it handheld a lot. I carry it with the shoulder strap, either on my shoulder or like crossbody against the waist, and that suits me, fits me, looks great. So it's all about what you're comfortable with, what you think looks good on yourself. But for this size, for me, I have no regrets about it at all. And lastly, with regards to value for money and the price, I think when I purchased it, I paid $2,920. And now the bag, that is for the personalization. So I don't know the retail price of just a normal Speedy B35. It's cheaper than what I paid, but to get it personalized and the bag, that costs 2,920 Australian dollars. Now I checked just before I started filming and it's gone up to 3,000 300, I'm pretty sure. Is it 3,200 actually, I lied. 3,200 Australian dollars. So it's gone up about $280 in a year, which is, I mean, I wasn't surprised. I thought it might have gone up a bit more, but it still has gone up. So, but with regards to the price and what I consider value for money, 100% I would buy it again. I've gotten a lot of use out of this bag. When I went traveling to WA for my little 24-hour stint, I took this bag as my carry-on bag, and honestly, it was stuffed in the overhead locker. It was put on the floor. It was like a 42-degree day also when I was like schlepping it at the airport. So my hands were sweaty. I was constantly picking it up, and it honestly didn't miss a beat. So I'm incredibly grateful for that. And I'm, you know, glad that this is a bag that can take a bit of a knock around and it's not too precious. But yeah, definitely great value for money for me. I got my cost per wear, as they say. And yeah, so no regrets about purchasing this bag. If you're on the fence about purchasing any monogram, or sorry, I keep saying monogram, any LV heritage item, I would say do it, because if you look at the mini pochette accessory, it has gone up from like $700 to 1,050 Australian dollars or something ridiculous like that. So now is the time to purchase it, because you never know with Louis Vuitton and the price rises. But definitely I have no regrets about the personalization aspect of it. It makes the bag really special to me. It has a lot of sentimental value to me too, because it's my first Louis Vuitton bag, and no regrets about purchasing it. So bite the bullet, do it. I know, terrible advice, just spend all your money. No, but if you are on the fence, I highly recommend it. Thanks so much for watching my 12-month review on my Louis Vuitton Speedy bag. If there's something you think I've missed, or if you want me to talk about something more, pop it all down in the comments below. And also I'd love it if you could hop onto Instagram and follow my account, The Closet by Connor, as that's where I do polls for topics that I want to talk about, or if you think I should talk about them on my channel. So make sure you go and give that a follow. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.